In the mighty kingdom of Persia, a young Jewish woman named Esther found herself chosen to be queen. She was kind, wise, and beautiful. But her beauty was not her greatest gift. It was her faith and courage that set her apart. Unknown to many, Esther was a Jew living in a foreign land. Her cousin Mordecai had raised her and taught her to trust in the God of Israel. Life in the palace seemed peaceful, until a proud and wicked man named Haman rose to power. Haman despised the Jews, and when Mordecai refused to bow to him, his anger burned with hatred. He devised a plan to destroy all the Jews in the empire. When Mordecai heard the decree, he tore his clothes and wept in the streets. He sent word to Esther, urging her to speak to the king. "Who knows," he said, "perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this." Esther's heart trembled, but deep inside, she knew this was her divine purpose. The fate of her people rested heavily on her shoulders, and she understood the grave risk that lay ahead. Mordecai's message had pierced her heart with urgency. He implored her to go before King Xerxes and plead for the lives of the Jewish people. Yet, she knew the peril of approaching the king without an invitation was severe. However, Esther, in her moment of uncertainty, chose a path of courage. With a steadfast heart, she summoned the resolve to act. Determined to seek divine assistance in her time of need, she called on her people for a 3-day fast, asking them to pray for her strength and guidance. "If I perish, she declared, a testament to her bravery. This statement rang true, echoing her commitment to fulfill her destiny, even at the cost of her own life. On the 3rd day of fasting, adorned in her royal robes, Esther stepped into the throne room. The chamber was vast, the atmosphere thick with tension as every echo of her footsteps resonated with the courage she mustered. When Xerxes looked up and recognized her presence, a heavy silence enveloped the room. But instead of condemnation, the king extended his golden scepter toward her, a gesture of mercy and acceptance. Esther's heart swelled with relief. She had found favor in the eyes of the king. As she caught her breath, the king welcomed her with kindness, inquiring about her wishes. Instead of rushing into her plea, Esther exhibited remarkable wisdom. She invited King Xerxes and his prime minister, Haman, to a banquet she had prepared. This strategic delay showcased her understanding of timing and trust in God's plan. She would wait for the right moment to reveal her truth, confident that the Almighty was directing her steps. Esther's story transcends time, reminding us that courage is not simply the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act in obedience despite it. At the second banquet, Esther finally spoke with boldness. "My king," she said, "if I have found favor in your eyes, spare my life and the lives of my people, for we have been sold to destruction." The king was stunned. "Who would dare do such a thing?" he demanded. Esther pointed and said, "This wicked man, Haman." Rage filled the room. The king ordered that Haman face the very punishment he had planned for Mordecai and the Jews. That day, justice was served, and the people of God were saved. Across the land, there was joy and celebration. The Jews honored Esther and Mordecai for their bravery, and the festival of Purim was established to remember how God delivered them. Esther's courage had changed the course of history. In the midst of fear and uncertainty, she stepped forward, revealing her identity and her people's plight. Through her faith and bravery, evil was confronted and hope was restored. This pivotal moment changed the fate of the Jewish people in Persia. Through courage and faith, Esther became a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that standing up for what is right is often fraught with danger. Yet it is in these defining moments that true greatness is revealed. Her story echoes across time, inspiring countless hearts to believe that they too can make a difference. In the end, God's purpose for Esther was fulfilled, proving that He places us where we are, not by chance, but by purpose. The moral of the story reminds us that God positions us for His purpose. When we step out in faith, He turns fear into victory. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe, like, share, and comment for more stories every day.